What's going on, folks? Bill Murphy here for the Sports Insanity Network, and welcome to another edition of Murphy's View. Well, the NFL schedule has been released, and today we are talking about my beloved New York Giants. But I'm not doing this alone. Joining me today, as you can see, he is the Giants Blitzer writer for the Sports Insanity Network. Please welcome Mr. Jeff Knapp. Jeff, welcome, buddy.
Good afternoon. Well, I'm glad to be here. I almost said good morning, and I have no idea why I said that.
Well, whatever time of day it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like 7:30 here, but it's afternoon somewhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, so before we get into the schedule, just want to do a quick breakdown of the Giants draft picks. What do you think of the draft picks, Jeff?
I was happy. I mean, picks, 5 and 7. I was really happy with. I didn't know if we were going to get Thibodeau, but the reason I was kind of happy is a few weeks ago I went to Target and I picked up a pack of cards of college players, and I picked up Thibodeau. He was in the pack, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, you can't beat that. So we got the pass rusher we needed, and we got the offensive lineman with Evan Neal, which I didn't think we were going to get either one of them. Like maybe a month before the draft, nobody had us getting either of them.
I'm sorry, go on.
They just assumed that they were going to fall earlier in the draft, at least by that point.
I thought Neal was going to go at 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I thought he was going at 1 or 2. And I'm thinking Neal's not going to fall to 7. Neal's not going to fall to 7. Neal's not going to fall to 7. And when we got Thibodeau, and I'm like thinking, who was between us again? It was a Carolina, I want to say, right?
Yeah, Carolina.
So I'm like thinking, wait, I don't think they need no offensive line. And then when we were back on the clock, I'm like, shoot, we're getting Evan Neal. If I'm Joe Shane right now, Evan Neal's still on the board, I'd be get Neal. And long and behold, look what happened.
Yeah, I think they went pass rush because I think some of the people I was reading, they thought that we should have gotten Neal first, and then chances are Thibodeau would have went to Carolina, and then we would have taken the next pass rusher in the draft, who's probably just as good of a pass rusher. Now, if Thibodeau is as good as I'm trying to put this. If he's as good as he has the potential to be, as he's shown flashes for in college, then we have ourselves 2 great studs,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what did you think of that pick from North Carolina, the kid from North Carolina?
I'm trying to think.
Robinson?
What? Oh, the receiver, right? Yeah,
that was a little bit, and I said this on the Sports Insanity podcast. Shameless plug for that. I said that was a little bit of a head scratcher.
I didn't. They say he's going to be great in the slot. He'll be very complimentary to Kadarius Toney. They both have the same type of athleticism. Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yes.
The Kentucky Wildcats. But the guy from North Carolina was Jonathan.
Kentucky, not North Carolina. That's my fault. Kentucky.
Duze or something. But yeah, he's only 5'11", 185 pounds. So he's a small dude. But they say, he's quick. I guess he's got to work on drops, which we can't have any more of that. We had enough drops last year, and some surprising ones like Darius Slayton dropped the ball a few big times throughout the year.
Yeah,
and a few times that kind of put Daniel Jones, his back up against the wall. Now, hopefully, it all depends. I guess this year, this is the big year for Daniel Jones.
Oh, absolutely. I am not. This is because they're not going to retain his 5th-year option. This is his year to say, I belong here. I belong here. And I think now, I think he might prove it because we have a you have a coach who has worked well with Josh Allen, Brian Dable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he needed that coach because we all know Joe Judge was absolutely no help whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, listen, if I could go on why I hate Joe Judge, we'll be here all night. Okay, hate's a strong word. Why I dislike Joe Judge, we'll be here all night. But anyway, yeah, that list is up to 637 right now. So anyway, so long list, Jeff. I'll send it to you later.
He just made the list.
It just made the list. 638. But anyway, yeah, but because this is something, and I know we got one other thing to get to before the schedule thing. One thing that I was actually hoping for, and this may sound weird, I was hoping the Giants were going to sign Trubisky, and here's why. Because I was thinking that Trubisky can serve as a mentor and role to Daniel Jones. He's worked under Brian Dable while in Buffalo, so he knows how Brian Dable coaches. So he can say, "Hey, this is how he does it. I can walk you through this. I can, he would have taken up more of like a mentoring role to Daniel Jones." But I know that sounds weird beyond belief, but what do you think, Jeff?
I'm not. Just repeat that. Well, I was just looking at something for the Giants real quick. Can you just repeat what you just said?
I was hoping they would get Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, yeah.
He would serve as like a mentor and role to Daniel Jones because Trubisky has played under Dable before.
Yeah.
So I think Trubisky could serve as like a mentor and role to Jones.
Yeah, I thought that would. I remember when I was writing up where they should go. I think I threw in Mitchell Trubisky's name.
I do remember because we actually
as a potential player. And, they went and got Tyrod Taylor, who's, for all his faults, he had last year, another injury shortened his season, which was great for Davis Mills. He showed he was one of the better quarterbacks coming out of that draft last year. But I think I'm fine with the Tyrod Taylor signing just for the mentoring aspect. I think also with Mitchell would have served the same exact role. I think those two would serve the same exact role. So I'm I would have been like, either way, for Mitchell or for Tyrod.
Okay. So one last thing before we get to the schedule. The Giants released Bradbury. What do you think?
Well, financially they had to.
Everyone and their mothers is calling for him.
Oh yeah, and I didn't mind James Bradbury, but for that price and what he produced on the field last year, but you're going to overpay for almost every player. If they have like one good season, I think you're going to overpay pay for somebody like that. Now,
guys, we do not have cap space.
No, we don't, and we had to do it as a necessary evil. I'm like thinking all the rumors were the Eagles. I'm like, please, not Philadelphia, anything but Philadelphia or Washington or Dallas.
And I'm also hearing Houston.
I would be fine if he went to Houston just for the fact he's out of the division. And I root for Houston just because I dislike the Cowboys. And I'm like, well, I guess if I ever went to Texas, they're like, who do you like? I would say, well, the Houston.
So I used to actually like Texans. So your Texans are the backup team.
Well, actually, my true backup team for if the Giants aren't on, are the Titans. Just because I went to Tennessee, and I loved that town. I had such an amazing time, and fell in love with it, and how easy it was to get from downtown Nashville to where the Titans play was really cool. But for me, I would go anywhere and watch any single game, kind of like I would with baseball.
Yeah,
I don't care who's playing.
Okay, so we ready for the schedule?
Yes.
All right. Give me one. Okay, so we're not going to bother doing preseason because it doesn't count. So, okay, the first game, week 1 on September 11th. 4:25 p.m. Titans in Tennessee. How funny. We were just talking about Tennessee.
Yep.
Jeff, I'll let you go first. What do you think? And do you think it's going to be a W or an L?
I think it's going to be a loss. I mean, Tennessee had this tied for the best record in the AFC last year at 12-5 with Kansas City. So now they did lose. They did lose their big time receiver, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes.
AJ Brown, who got traded in a draft pick to the Eagles.
Yeah.
And
so their biggest threat, though, is gone. I mean, I know they went and drafted a receiver in the draft this year. So, I mean, you take away their best offense, well, their second best offensive threat, depending upon how Derrick Henry plays.
Yeah.
But I still think it's gonna. I'm gonna still say it's gonna be a loss for the Giants on this one.
Okay. Here's what I say. You got no AJ Brown, so he's gone. With their big threat is going to be Derrick Henry, because we all know that guy's a freaking bulldozer.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like Tennessee, as they got the number 1 seed last year in the AFC. And they did it without AJ Brown because he kept getting injured. Well, he was kind of banged up this year, and so was Derrick Henry, who was out for like a good chunk of the season. But you know what? I am actually going to agree with you. I am going to give this game a loss because they're going to give the ball to Henry. And I'd be happy if they won. So I'm giving the Giants in week 1 an L.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the new receiver, the new lineman, just the other new additions on defense besides Thibodeau. I just think it's going to take a little time for them to gel.
Absolutely. Okay. Week 2, home opener, 1:00 against the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, I think they got to win here. I think they get a win at home. And the home opener against Carolina, who had just as bad of a season as the Giants did, but Carolina doesn't have, like, the Giants, even though they said no to the 5th-year option on Daniel Jones, they have to have all their chips on him to see how he's going to, whether they're going to re-sign, sign him next year, or if they're going to. So he's going to have a lot of stake in the game. Yeah, so he's got a lot of stake in the game. They're going to have the home field advantage, I would hope, unless a lot of Carolina fans make the trek up. But I think that's going to be a win for them. They're going to work on probably what they did wrong from the first week, and I don't see a high scoring game with this. Now, can they stop Christian McCaffrey? That's their biggest offensive weapon. Is he going to be healthy? If he's not healthy and can't play, then I personally think that's a definite win for the Giants. If he's healthy, then I still think they're going to win, but I think it won't be I think it's going to be a tighter game.
Now, I'm going to agree with you because when you said close game, I actually went to the Giants-Carolina game this past year.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember this game. It was like literally 5-3 at halftime. I was with my brother and a few of his friends, and we're like, what is this, a baseball game?
Yeah.
And also, yeah. So, but you know what? I agree with you, Christian McCaffrey. If he's not, because Christian McCaffrey keeps getting hurt. He was hurt okay, and you know what? Fun fact here: 2 years ago, I actually picked Christian McCaffrey as my number 1 pick for fantasy.
Okay.
And and he got hurt. You know who my number 1 pick was this year for fantasy?
Who's that?
Derrick Henry.
Oh.
So yeah, I have this horrible curse that every time my number one pick gets injured. So it's a curse, Jeff. It's a curse.
Wow, you did your draft early.
What do you mean I did my draft early?
Well, for this coming season?
No, last year. 2 years ago, I got McCaffrey.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I was gonna say.
Like,
I know some people draft early, but
the draft's usually in like, late August. But you know what? If they can stop McCaffrey, if he's healthy, I think we'll be good. I'm gonna give this a conditional W.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 3, our first big test. Mark Halpern, if you are watching this, the Dallas Cowboys at home, Monday Night Football, Week 3.
Oof.
Jeffrey, my friend, what do you got?
I hate to say I think the Cowboys are going to win this game.
You think so?
I think so too. I do think they just have that more complete team, that they have the chemistry. They're at home. They're in the Big D.
No, the Giants. Giants are at home.
Oh, the Giants are at home. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like a home field advantage for the Cowboys there at times, because I've had friends go to the Giants-Cowboys game in Giant Stadium, and there was a heck of a lot of Cowboy fans there. A lot of Cowboy fans. But I still think that the Cowboys are going to win this game.
You want to know something? I'm actually call me foolishly optimistic, but I think they can win this one.
Okay.
I think if they stay on Cooper and all of them, I think we'll be fine.
If that's who they target is Amari
Cooper.
Yeah.
I know. I love Amani Toomer too. Jeff,
Yeah.
I love Amani Toomer too.
Yeah, I was actually looking up Amani Toomer the other day. I was looking at some cards for some old Giants. I'm like, oh yeah, Amani Toomer.
Yeah, but very underrated player in my opinion. But you know what? Call this a fool's wish, and I know Mark's gonna be laughing at me for saying this, but I'm gonna give this a W. Okay, week 4. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I just
okay.
I just wanted to see like Dak Prescott's numbers against the Giants and see. And I don't think they have anything easily found, but I'm sure you could look it up. But earlier today, I was looking up something, and one of the writers said, just take a look at Dak's numbers against the Giants. And they said, on second thought, don't.
Okay. So week 4 at home against the Cowboys, the Bears, sorry. Yeah. Week 4, 1:00 game against the Bears. Thoughts?
I think this is going to be another close game, but I believe the Giants are going to pull this out.
Really?
Yeah, I believe they're going to win. I don't know if Justin Fields is the answer to the Bears' woes. So, and the Bears, they just don't really impress me.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by Chicago either, even though we got blown out last year and we had to listen to the terrible 11 minutes of Joe Judge talking about nonsense. Remember that?
Sometimes he just kind of went off. Like,
this ain't no clown show. I changed the culture. I have players who are calling me saying they want to come back. And I'm like, yawn. I'm like, dude, oh my God, stop talking.
Yeah. I'm like, who wanted to come back to this?
I blame Sherber. I blame Jason Garrett. Like, listen, I'm not a big fan of Pat Sherber or Jason Garrett either, but don't blame people who are not there anymore, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm having traumatic flashbacks to Joe Judge. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to give this a W as well.
Now, I know the Giants scored less points last year overall than the Bears. Defensively, they gave up about the same amount of points. but I just don't see it for Justin Fields with the Cowboys or with the Bears.
Okay. Week 5. It's going to be in jolly old England.
I'm going to assume it's going to be raining.
Oh, Jeff, it always rains in England. England and Ireland are just alike. It rains there all the time.
Yeah, you're going to have the NFL players out there. Oh, it's raining in. And the Brits are going to be like, oh, bloody hell. You yikes.
You're all a bunch of wimps. Our football team plays in this weather. Plays regardless of this weather. You bunch of wimps. If we have any listeners in the UK, sorry about my terrible British accent. But it's going to be against the Packers, 9:30 in the morning. First of all, we want to give a shout out to our dear friend and President Lawrence Patchman Lang, who is a Packer fan. So I'm going to let you go first on this one.
You got Aaron Rodgers. I can never, unless they're playing like a high-powered team that they go blow for blow with. The Giants are not. I don't anticipate the Giants being there yet, where they can go and beat the Packers, like 27-24, or even lose to the Packers 27-24. I'm gonna hope they at least get a touchdown out of this, maybe 2, but I still think Aaron Rodgers. Now, this all depends upon how heavy it rains, because that's gonna, Rodgers doesn't have his main target anymore, so they may rely on the running game. This might help the Giants. If it's a downpour or something like that, where they're more reliant on the running game, then I think the Giants have a good chance of pulling out an upset victory in England.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's a more running game, then I think the Giants have a chance.
Yes.
But you know how they say don't bet against Brady? To be safe, don't bet against Rodgers. I'm giving this a conditional L. You?
Unless it's like I said, it's a crazy downpour and they get away from the passing game completely. If that doesn't happen, then it's going to be Green Bay with the win.
Yeah, and I bet Lawrence is actually laughing right now as he hears this. But you know where I'm going to be when that game's going on?
Where?
I'm going to be on a plane heading to Vegas.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to be checking my phone while I'm on the plane. So
I think the 16th, that's Sunday. I think right around, the Bears game I'll be in Florida for. That's it. I was just looking at the dates. Yeah. So the Bears game for the Giants, I'll be in Florida.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you can get it down there, but we will see.
Oh, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Okay. So week 6.
Yep. Baltimore.
At home, the Baltimore Ravens. No Hollywood Brown this year.
Can they stop Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question. Can they stop Lamar Jackson? That guy can throw. He can run.
Yeah. He is like a walking Madden game.
If you get Thibodeau on him, then we might have some hope here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to protect if they have them protect the outsides, Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari protect the outsides. If they can maintain some control up front and see what we can do in the backfield. Mm-hmm. Not let him go long. If you can keep him in the box and not let him get outside and run out, then I do like our chances. But if they can't stop him, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a really long day.
It's going to be, you have to play excessive defense right now. You got to play excessive defense because you don't know if he's going to throw. You don't know if he's going to run. So I think that's going to be a tough game. But do you think the Giants can pull it out?
I would love to say yes, but I just think that Lamar may be too much for them, and they might keep it close. They might lose by 10, maybe 7, but I think Lamar in the end is going to be too much for him.
So you're giving this an L?
Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't want to either.
I want to keep doing W's across the board. Trust me on this.
Yeah, but you know what? Part of the job, Jeff, is we got to be brutally honest.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
In the words of the great Billy Joel, honesty is such a painful word.
Yeah.
Though
when you look at our what is it? The strength of schedule. The Giants have the Washington football team, the Commanders, and the Cowboys, and have the best or the easiest strength of schedule, and the Giants have like the 4th technically.
Yeah.
Because their opponents last year went 134, 154, and 1. So, and the Rams have the hardest schedule.
Well, they're the reigning Super Bowl champs, so
yeah. So you would think that they would say, "Here you go."
Okay. Hopefully, these next couple ones are going to be a nice stroll down easy street. Week 7
in Jacksonville.
1 p.m.
I'm giving this to the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah, I give it to the Giants. Trevor Lawrence looked okay at times last year, but if somebody told me that was the number 1 pick in the draft, me personally, I'm not the biggest football expert in the world, but just for what I got to see, I mean, if they could keep him upright, get him some targets, we'll see what they can do. But I still think the Giants are going to pull this one out. I think you might see like 24-20, 24-21 for the Giants that week.
So, anyway, here's what I've always said. When you said like Trevor Lawrence last year, if you told me this was your number 1 pick, you'd be like, really? But you know what? And I've been saying this for the longest time. Another Billy Joel reference. I should put a dime every time I make a reference to a Billy Joel song. Anyway, but for the longest time I've been saying this. Trevor Lawrence, was last year, he was mediocre at best, maybe slightly better than mediocre. But I don't entirely blame Trevor Lawrence. It's not entirely his fault. Like, he was thrown into a really not good situation with Urban Meyer, who was literally the honest to God worst hire in the NFL last year, agree or disagree. But yeah, he didn't have someone to guide him properly.
No.
This year, with Doug Peterson, I think Lawrence has someone who's going to guide him, who's going to mold him better. This is going to be the guy who's going to mold Trevor Lawrence into a NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, I still think the Giants are going to pull this one out. So, yeah. Because Jacksonville's still going to be a little rusty, but I think the Giants can really win this one.
Oh, me too.
In Jacksonville. So I'm giving this a W. Okay. Week 8. Week 8 is going to be in Seattle.
Yes.
Against the Seahawks. So, okay, I'm kind of torn on this, Jeff. And you tell me what you think. You got no Russell Wilson.
Nope.
He's in
Denver.
God bless him. We wish him the best. But the Seahawks, who made the dumbest pick and who made the dumbest move in draft history, like you're at number 9.
Yeah.
You have Willis on the board. You have Pickett on the board. You have Corral on the board. You should have picked one of them. But they didn't. And you're stuck with Drew Lock.
Though I don't blame them for not taking any of those players that early in the draft. If they were still available, like in the third round, I would have said definitely take them. But a lot of the things I read, they weren't good enough in college to be the number that first round pick based on all the other needs that many of the teams needed, defense and O-line. They weren't I guess they didn't perform well enough to be for most part, most quarterbacks, if they're that great, they're going to be within the first 10 picks. Unless, you die back like Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers went back in the draft. But I think that was a really sad fluke that they did that.
Yeah, and you still got Metcalf and Lockett.
Yeah.
For Seattle. So regardless of it's going to be Drew Lockett's quarterback, if he hits Lockett and Metcalf. Sorry, I had a brain fart there, Jeff. I apologize. But if they keep hitting Metcalf and Lockett, it's going to be unless you cover them, coverage.
Yeah.
That it's going to be a tough one. But I actually think the Giants can pull out a W on this one. Call me crazy. Call me crazy.
No, I will not call you crazy. I think you're completely sane. I think this is a realistic win. Because what has Drew Lock or Geno Smith showed anybody? Nothing. I mean, they could get lucky, and if one of the receivers can break open, I mean, yeah, they can get past you or run over you. But I think that their quarterback situation, I like the Giants' quarterback situation more than I do Seattle's.
No, I do too. Because you don't have a straight up leader yet, if that makes sense. You don't have a straight up settled quarterback at this point.
I mean, if Daniel Jones goes down, we have Geno Smith. We have Tyrod Taylor to back him up, which I'm much happier about than say we had Drew Lock or Geno Smith as our backups.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong.
Yep.
But I'm gonna give this a W for the
So we might actually have 1, 2. We're gonna have 2 wins in a row at this point.
We're gonna have 2 wins.
Yep.
Okay. And now we got the bye. And I feel like if we see the Giants from last year, they'll find some way to lose on the bye. Just stay away from boats. Stay away from boats.
Yeah, stay away from the boats. Just pay the players, because I know they're struggling financially. Pay the players a little extra more money to stay at home. Watch some TV. Give them Netflix. Give them
spend some time with your families.
Yeah.
Go play with your dogs if you have a dog. Or cat. Yeah, cats are fine too. I'm more of a dog person, but dogs.
I mean, we're in November. Watch a NASCAR race. Do something, anything, but don't have too much fun. Maybe go out to dinner.
Maybe going out for a drink or two wouldn't be the worst thing.
And
just be responsible.
And who was it? Somebody once said when they were talking about athletes and them getting in trouble, it's always like so-and-so got in trouble at this type of place and it was 2 a.m. Nothing good happens to these players at 2 a.m. anywhere. They could be walking out of a church at 2 a.m. and something's going to happen. I don't know what could happen leaving a church at 2 a.m. But if it's 2 a.m, stay home, stay in bed. Have your parents over.
But or 3 a.m. if you remember the Matchbox 20 song, baby, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely.
Not me, no. I've heard of Matchbox 20, but
you've never heard that song?
No.
That's like one of my favorite songs. But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was our bye week.
Yes.
Talking about weird random stuff that you guys probably don't want to hear about, and you're probably just Monty Python and thinking right now, get on with it. Get on with it. I'm like, okay, we're back. See what happens when I hoodwink you into these things, Jeff.
That's right. Hey, I love it. Hey, I'll take this anytime.
You have to put up with me, and I'm not crazy. At least not according to the New York State Board of Psychiatrists. But okay, so now we go to week 10 against the Texans. Yeah. What do you think, Mike? What are you thinking, my friend?
Another win. I think we're gonna be at home. We had the off week to prepare. We're gonna be at home. Everybody's gonna be comfortable, sleeping in their own beds, being around their family and their friends, and
not walking out of churches at 2 a.m.
No 2 a.m. things going on. They're gonna be at home. I think it's gonna be a nice, brisk, cool day, and I think they're gonna run. I think they might actually run away with this one.
I think so too.
I think they're gonna get it. I think I'm picturing at least 20. I'll say about 24 to 27 points for the Giants in this one. Maybe
okay. This should be an easy win. Keyword, folks, should.
Yeah,
but nothing's easy with the Giants. We know that. Nothing's easy.
Yeah, but I think I'll tell you what though, I was really impressed because I got to flip through some of the things that I was through the games last year, and okay, so Davis Mills doesn't come off as the sexy pick from last year with Mac Jones having the year that he had for the Patriots, because heaven forbid there's a year where Bill Belichick doesn't find the diamond in the rough. He is amazing at doing it. He did it with Mac Jones. I mean, I don't pay as close attention to college football as a lot of other people do. So I personally wasn't aware of Mac Jones coming into the draft, just like this guy that they picked up in the first round this year. And everyone's like, did Belichick lose his mind? No, he probably knows what he's doing. It's insert the best player for that need that they have. And I think, but Davis Mills, I think was one of the better quarterbacks out of that rookie class last year. And I think he's going to continue it, though I don't think he's going to continue it against the Giants.
Yeah, I'm going to think that this should be a Giants win, but nothing comes easy for the Giants. Nothing. They might do some weird 2 a.m. crap before the game. Yeah, I'm stealing that joke, by the way. No.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so week 11. Wow, we're really breezing through this.
Yeah.
Week 11, 1 p.m. home against the Lions.
I'm saying one more win.
Yeah. Do we even need to think about this one?
This should go down as one of their they better win games.
I agree. This that they should win, but remember, nothing's easy. Yeah. But Aiden Hutchinson. So, but you know what? I am giving this sucker a win.
Oh yeah. And they didn't pick up a quarterback from what I can remember in the draft, did they?
I don't think so. No.
No,
and Jared Goff, I don't totally think he's awful, but he's just kind of meh.
Yeah.
That trade was the best thing Los Angeles did.
Yep. It was well worth everything they gave up to get rid of him and to bring in Matthew Stafford. And okay. I was happy for Matthew Stafford.
No, I've always liked Matthew Stafford too.
Suffered all those years in Detroit.
God bless them.
I just saw a documentary recently, and they are building up that downtown area of Detroit, like where the Lions play and the Flames and the Tigers all play. They're building it up, and it's actually becoming a nicer area. I mean, it didn't have the greatest of reputations years back, but now from everything I saw on YouTube from the one guy who went around downtown Detroit, it's looking really nice.
Yeah, it really looks nice, doesn't it? Okay. So you giving this a win?
Oh yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
I'm giving this a win as well. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. Week 12, Thanksgiving Day in Dallas, 4:30 p.m. Okay, I got to say this because we were talking about, me and my family were talking about this last night. My mom's like, oh, does that mean we have to eat at like 1 p.m. so you guys can watch the game?
Yeah.
Or do we got to eat at like 7? My dad goes, it's only May. We'll think about it. And I swear to God, I think Mark Halpert is going to be driving outside my house honking the horn if they win. Like, take that, Bill. Let's go. How about them Cowboys? Woo! I guarantee you he's going to be doing that. Mark, I'm just kidding. So, yeah. But before it's just Thanksgiving, Jeff, do you have any Cowboy fan relatives that are going to be over your house that day?
Nope. Because if this will be the tough one, if we end up going to my sister's house last year for the first time, they got the TV ready so I could watch some football. In years past, it was always like pulling teeth because nobody there except for my stepfather cared about football, and they couldn't comprehend why watching football was more important than kind of just hanging out. Of course, if football was on, I would stop watching it if we were having dinner. But other than that, if we're having like hors d'oeuvres or whatever, I'm taking my stuff and I'm sitting down watching the game. And I think one year I didn't get to watch it because they had I couldn't link my phone up with it because they live in an area where you can't really get cell service all that well. At least, and it wasn't even that far. It was Tilson. Yeah. So it wasn't like it was like, but it was in where the spot was where their house is.
And I'm not making fun of your sister, by the way. I was just kidding. No, I'm sure she's lovely. But anyway,
yes.
But
yeah. So I don't care. Now this year, though, if the Giants and it's a close game and dinner's ready, I may have to take my food down to the bar area in their house and plop myself in front of the TV with my John Madden sized turkey wing and some potatoes and stuff and chow down there. But if it's a 4:30 game, I'm hoping we'll be done eating.
This will be me if the game's going on during dinner. Oh, and we're getting ready to go dinner. Okay. Oh, come on. We got bless us, O Lord, for these gifts we're about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Past potatoes. Stuffing. Okay, back to the couch.
Well, I'll just bring my phone with me and I'll set it in front of my beer or something, in front of something in the middle of the table and watch the game on my phone.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. But getting back to the game, Jeff, what do you got?
If there's one game that those Cowboys are going to want to win, of course they're going to want to win every game, but for them to play on Thanksgiving and keep up their tradition and being able to beat the Giants, they're going to do whatever they can to prepare for a win. More than probably, unless, the only other team I think they would want to play harder against on Thanksgiving might be the Washington football team.
So you're giving the Giants an L on this one?
Yeah, I hate to say it.
All right, you know what?
I think they're going to go 0-2 against the Cowboys this year.
I think they could split. I think they're going to split. But that's just me.
Yeah. If the Giants do pull off the win, then maybe the Giants win at home. Though it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants lose at home and then win in Dallas. That would not surprise me either.
And listen, guys, we can't tell the future here. We're just speculating. We're just speculating, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to give that an L. Okay. And next game at home against the Washington Commanders for week 13, 1 p.m. What do you think?
I want to see how Carson Wentz does. Jeez.
Hopefully he does typical Carson Wentz things like he did last year.
Oh, I know. But was it Taylor Heineke? He played pretty well against us last season.
Yes.
And they pulled off, they did get the win, but there was a moment where we had that chance and we gave it up. This is going to be a tough one to call. I mean, they got some pretty good weapons on their team. I think the Giants can win this one. They're going to come off of a disappointing loss to Dallas. I think they're going to be dialed in for this game. I think they're going to win this game.
I think so too, because here's why. They lose to Dallas, they're going to have some fire under their you-know-what.
Yep.
They're going to have a nice long break. Because the Dallas game's on Thursday, and then they don't play again until the next Sunday. So they're going to be well rested.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the W. I'm going with the W.
Yes.
Okay. Week 14. The Eagles.
I mean, they got those two great receivers now, Brown and Devonta Smith. I think the Eagles are going to take this game.
Really?
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to take this game. Even though the Giants are going to be at home, I think this is going to be an Eagles win.
I think if we cover Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, we should be good. You want to know something, Jeff?
What's up?
I was actually originally going to put this down as a W. But now you got me thinking now.
Because they're not going to be able to cover both those receivers.
No, absolutely. And I think they can do the coverage. So you know what? I was going to give this a W, but you know what? You've convinced me. See, damn it, Jeff. You had to ruin my hopes and dreams.
I had to go there.
You had to ruin everything, Jeff. Thanks. Yeah, I think
both the Eagles and the Giants are going to have two quarterbacks that are going to be fighting it out for their futures of their respective franchises too. I think. Okay. I mean, the Giants, I think, with Jones is going to be fighting a little bit harder, being that I think he's a year in, but now in Philadelphia they added A.J. Brown. I think that's going to be a nasty duo out there.
Okay, week 15. Washington on the road.
Yep.
What do you think?
I think the Giants are going to win this one.
I think so too.
It's probably going to be I think it's going to be a closer game than the first game because they're going to learn from they're going to take the previous game's mistakes. But they're definitely going to win this game. I think it's going to be like, I don't know, like 21-14, 21-17, something to that effect.
I think it's going to be a close game.
And these games are usually exciting.
Yes, Giants and Washington.
Yep.
So I think they can actually. I think they can win. I think they're gonna sweep Washington.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think W's there. Okay. Week 16, Christmas Eve, 1 p.m. Yep. And okay, for those of you who don't know, because Christmas is on a Sunday this year, and if Christmas falls on a Sunday, the NFL has the full slate on Saturday, Christmas Eve. And then they have and then they play like 2-3 games on Christmas Day. This year they're playing 3 games on Christmas Day for like the first time ever. So in Minnesota against the Vikings.
Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Man. I'm kind of curious how the Giants defense holds up. And barring any, I'm sure that we're going to have some injuries down by this point that might affect some of the team chemistry. So I'm gonna go with, and I hate to say Minnesota, but I'm gonna go with Minnesota at home. I think they're gonna win this one.
You know what? I actually think they can. I actually think they yeah, they're going to be on the road, but I think if the defense can really stop Jefferson and Thielen, I think the Giants could win this one.
I would love to see them win it. I mean, but they have, yeah, I'd love to see them. I just think Minnesota's going to take this one myself.
Okay, week 17. New Year's Day at home against the Colts.
I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch because the Colts have some really good weapons on their team.
While you all sleep off your New Year's Eve hangovers.
Yeah. Once again, Giants players, please stay at home on New Year's Eve. Be in bed by 9 o'clock. Have some hot milk. Go to bed. Because it might be a long day. Because I'm kind of curious how Matt Ryan performs for the Colts.
I am too, actually. I'm very curious.
He was always a very solid quarterback, Matty Ice, and was it Jonathan Taylor, right?
John Taylor, yes, Jonathan Taylor.
And is T.Y. Hilton still on the team from what I remember?
I think so. Let me look that up. Yeah. And by the way, we don't mean Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Randy from Home Improvement. He's not involved in this.
No, he got cut week 1 in preseason. But I could. They're going to be at home. Damn. But if they can stop Thomas.
Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. That's going to be the tough one. He had a monster year last year. Man. If the Colts win it, I think this is going to be a pick 'em on this one. If the Colts win, it's not going to be by much, like 24-21 type of thing, and the same for the Giants, 24-21. That type, I think it's probably going to be a pick 'em for me. I can't really decide on this one.
Me neither.
And by this time late in the year, we're going to see, how bad do they want it? Are they going to be making a playoff run? I'm hoping that the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Commanders somehow just have a bunch of tie games or something at the end of the year. I don't know, going down the stretch. Maybe they tie each other. I don't know, something like that. But
this is a real toughie. Yeah. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't know. How about this? You want to just go to the next one? We'll come back to this one.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a ledge. I'm going to say the Giants take them. I'm going to.
You're going out on the ledge and saying they're going to win?
Yep. And if they don't, then I promise for that week I will only have light beer.
So you're going to have to live that whole week on Bud Light, Jeff.
Well, I won't go that far. Maybe like Miller Lite or something.
Okay, Miller Lite's not.
Yeah,
I don't think Bud Light's that bad, but that's just me. It's not terrible, but this is not a beer podcast.
That could go for 5 hours.
We'll go for 8 hours just for that. We're going to go extra long.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor is a force to be reckoned with. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very defense-heavy game. So, but I think maybe they can pull it out. So I'm going to go with a W. Okay. Week 18. It's the final countdown. You're up. Don't sue me if you're watching this. I think I'm going to get sued for that.
No, it was almost like a parody. So that's
it was a parody. It's covered by fair use, so don't sue me.
Yep.
Anyway. Okay. Week 18 in Philly against the Eagles. Jeffrey.
Last game of the year. I'm going to say, I think the Giants might actually take this one.
Really?
Yeah, I think they might have a puncher's chance.
I
just
am
wear him down. They hit him with the old rope-a-dope. Just get him tired out.
Actually going to agree with you on this one. I think after, if they get blown out at home, I think they're going to know what they did this time around. And I think they're going to know to put coverage on Brown, put coverage on Smith. So I'm going to give them a win. Okay. And now it is time for the final tally. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 5, 7, 5, 7, 6, 8, 6, 8, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7. So you have the Giants going at 10, 7.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
And I have the Giants. Let's see. 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 7-4, 8-4, 8-5, 9-5, 10-5. I think I have them going 12-5, which, you know what? I'll be honest. I don't really know. I don't really know. I hope so.
If we go either one of those two, especially 12,
I had that's more than I expected.
If they go that, here's where I know they're going to do that well. This is why, because they're going to be forced to make a decision on Daniel Jones.
Oh, absolutely. I think Daniel Jones
is going to have a phenomenal year. He's going to give us a great record, maybe make it to the playoffs, just to spite what will happen with a potential stud coming out in the NFL draft. Just to spite the team.
I didn't think it was really going to be this many wins. God, I don't know if I'm fully confident on this. Like, dang.
Now, how many fumbles is Daniel Jones going to give up?
That's debatable.
Some interceptions, drop passes, again. All these invariables, but let's assume that it's not going to be as bad as we think it's going to be.
You know what? Like, I'll be honest with you.
If they get to 10 wins, I would be.
If they win at least 8 games, I'll be satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
I will be satisfied if they win at least 8 games.
Yeah, if they get 8 to 10 wins, holy cow.
Oh, absolutely. So these are just speculations. We're actually shocked that we picked that.
Yeah. But then again, we have one of the easiest schedules.
Yeah, so
the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and then the Giants are the top 4 for easiest schedules, followed by the Lions. Then you have the Rams, the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Bucks, and the Niners, and the Chiefs all in the top 5, 6 for hardest schedules.
So if they win at least 8 games, I'm happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because my dad said he has them going 8-9. So,
I mean, because it's got to be better than it was last year.
Yeah.
shoring up the additions we've made to the offensive line to protect. I mean, who was it? Joe Burrow got sacked a hell of a lot more than Daniel Jones did last year.
And he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he had an amazing season. So let's see. I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right. Well, we got about a 98 day. We got 108. How many days do we got? Yeah, 118 days to go. So, but who's counting?
Yeah.
But so anyway, that's all for today. This has been Murphy's View. Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
If you want to see more, and why wouldn't you? Because this is content. Isn't this content great?
This is like pay-per-view.
This is like pay-per-view stuff.
Yeah.
Go to www.thesportsinsanitynetwork.com, where you could read all the blogs. Jeff is doing a great job over there. Check out his blogs. Check out all the podcasts, such as The Face Turn, Breakaway Bandits, The Throwdown, Wishbone Shotgun, the 19th Hole, and the granddaddy, the one that started it all, the Sports Insanity Podcast. Follow us on all social media platforms. Thank you so much. I'm Bill Murphy. This has been Murphy's View. Stay safe and take care.